Yeah, the first one I wanted to discuss, which is a very topical thing, which interested to hear your thoughts on as well. And there's a Japanese company, and they're called Donut Robotics. And what they
Already
made,
love them. Already love them.
brilliant name, exactly, brilliant name. And their business was making robots for sort of customer service applications. So you went into a bank or sort of places like that, and you'd be greeted by a robot, and it would talk to you. And that was sort of what they did up until this point. But what they've just announced is a face mask. So with COVID-19, everything that's going on, face masks become a lot more prominent in society, and particularly it's something that I think a lot of Asian countries embraced for many, many years, but into Western countries like ours, it's quite a new thing. But it's become more adopted. But this face mask is no ordinary mask. It links to your phone. So what you can do is you talk. Let's say you were Spanish and I was talking to you, and there was a bit of a hola, and there's a bit of a language barrier. By speaking, it will translate. It will send your phone text of what has just been said. So I could say, James, can I have a drink or whatever it may be? And it can translate into 9 different languages, which are Japanese, English, Chinese, French, Korean, Thai, Bahasa. Don't know where that's from. Don't know if you do. Spanish and Vietnamese. So perfect. You know, you're there. You're feeling a bit of safety from having the mask. You can speak to people in different languages. Fantastic. You can also make calls, make minute notes, sort of voice recordings, and also because you're wearing a mask, it also amplifies your voice, so people can hear you a lot better in it as well.
Yeah. In my head, I have a visual of Bane.
Exactly.
Now talking in different voices, but with his kind of, oh, bonjour, Mr. Wayne, Monsieur Wayne. Just throwing in a different language there. I mean, it's very clever, isn't it? But I mean, it's I guess from a kind of worldwide communication, you think like different leaders around the world. I mean, it must be bad for translators because they're going to be up a creek, really, aren't they?
That's it.
If it becomes a more broadly available thing.
Well, I think at the moment it just does it to text, but yeah, there's no reason, I guess, why you couldn't then do it to sort of a full translation service. The thing that really impressed me about this is they've used technology clearly that they already had to develop this. But because it's such a new thing, normally when brand new things like this come out, you think, wow, that's going to cost me a fortune. You know, it's something for an early adopter and they might buy it because it's cool, like the Google Glass, those glasses that came out, things like that, load of money to buy. This is only $40 when it comes out. So it's accessible immediately for the majority of people. So it's not, it feels a bit like science fiction, but actually it's just a real product that will be coming out relatively soon. I think it says shipping in September in Japan.
But who are they kind of marketing this towards, though?
And I think everyone, as far as I'm aware, it's just a consumer item that anyone can buy and have, which I think is fantastic. Like I said, it's not. I think $40 certainly is more than, you know, if you're someone who's buying a mask and you're paying, you know, sort of less than a tenner for it or whatever, fair enough. You might not want that sort of thing, but if you're someone who's traveling a lot and
that's what
wants a mask, amazing, yeah.
That's handy if you are someone who's going to be traveling to them sort of countries, and then it helps you get around in that. Yeah, definitely.
That's it. It's fantastic. They are planning to bring it into China and the US and Europe as well. So it could be the case that we could get our hands on one of those at some point.
We'll just have them as part of our office attire.
Exactly. Yeah. When we want to speak in Spanish one day, we can do it.
Yeah. Well, seeing as we have a French speaking colleague, we'll know when she's
insulting us in French.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Shout out to Karine there, by the way.
What are your thoughts mask wise? Because today I went to the supermarket today, first time wearing a mask.
You wore one.
Which wore one, walking around the supermarket wearing it.
Well, well done. First of all,
I wasn't after praise.
I'm not against wearing one. I think, if it's for the benefit of everyone else, and if everyone does it, then yeah, fair enough. I think in the right scenarios, if you've gone to a supermarket, I mean, I went to a supermarket yesterday. I must say I didn't wear one, but I don't know. I think at the moment it's a kind of personal choice
Hmm.
in them situations where you're not legally advised that you have to wear one. I think public transport, they're saying you have to. But yeah, I mean, I'm not against it, but I'm a guy with a full beard, so they'll need to get some sort of hairnet for me.
You can just comb it over your mouth, and then you'll be fine.
Well, exactly. That's another option. Yeah, yeah.
I think
Maybe I've already got one.
I got one, or got a few because it was a 3-pack. Um, More than anything, I think for me, you read the science and whatever behind it, and I find that very, very interesting. Um, but I looked at it almost like a social experiment. I was
Mm.
thinking, well, people are wearing it, people are making that choice to wear it. I haven't up until this point, and we're sort of what 3-4 months into all of this.
Mm.
What will it be like, and will I get benefit from it? And I think having the first time doing it, yeah, I mean it's weird because it does. I think fair enough. You got the protection of having something over your mouth, but I think almost it gives you a psychological protection as well. How I experienced it,
Yeah.
but to the point where I thought I did have to be mindful of getting too close to people. Like there's almost that false sense of security. You think, well, I've got a mask on, I'm okay, but you still have to think, well, I
But
still should be distancing as well.
but the masks are actually to protect others, aren't they?
Mm,
So you're protecting other people if you're wearing a
yeah,
mask. I'm pretty sure if other people aren't wearing them, then you're still technically at risk. I do get what you mean though. When I was in the supermarket yesterday, there was a couple of people who came right up next to me and
yeah,
almost reached across in front of me,
yeah.
and I was just like,
What are you
have
doing?
people just forgot what's going on? Which is so weird to feel like that now, considering we've
Mm,
lived, however many years not doing that, and if someone reaches across, you don't even think twice
whatever.
about
Yeah,
it. But
exactly.
now I'm kind of like, I almost feel like having it out with them.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah,
It's
it's
funny, isn't it?
peculiar. It's peculiar,
But I
yeah.
guess it's just everyone get used to the scenario. One thing I did notice actually, and it was weird. I think again, sort of my personal thing. Walking around the supermarket till previously, I did find that I almost felt like I was holding my breath in certain places. I think, oh, there's lots of people. It's almost like, like holding my breath, completely, sort of subconsciously doing it. And again, wearing a mask, I wasn't doing that. So that's
Mm.
positive. Breathing is always,
Uh,
a good choice.
the masks that you got, are they just plain ones?
Fabric. Well,
Uh,
see, me being we, I went for something a little fancy, which that I got from Reebok. So they're black and they're fitted, and I look a
right,
bit like a ninja, which
right,
I think is cool. I like walking around looking like I'm from some anime cyberpunk
yeah,
novel. So
yeah,
I embrace that
yeah,
too.
yeah. I think what you could go a bit further and start putting some of your artwork
Could they?
printed and sewn on or something like that.
Well, no, it's
Get the
completely
brand
possible.
out there.
Yeah, I did look at those at first. When those sort of things started coming out, I did sort of cringe a bit when I saw them because it seemed like very shortly after lockdown, all of a sudden I put some of my stuff on a site called Redbubble, which prints stuff to order. So I can put stuff on a t-shirt or a hoodie and all that sort of thing. Um, and so get stuff printed and people can buy my stuff and do buy my stuff printed. And they did add face masks quite soon, which fair enough, it's not business opportunity, isn't it, that people
Mm.
will be interested in.
Yeah.
But I think at the time I wasn't sort of psychologically ready for it. It was a bit like, hang on, this is a bit weird. Why would I felt like I was no profiteering out of
from
a
a
global
problem.
pandemic.
Yeah.
But now I
However,
think I
we
look
have
at it.
just had 1 million items shipped.
Yeah, that's it. It's sort of like, oh, does it really sit right? But now I think, and when I was looking, because I decided, right, I'm gonna get some masks. I want to have a look. I didn't want the paper ones, like
Yeah.
some medical looking ones. Didn't really feel right wearing those, for comfort and so on and fit. So I was having a look at different ones. There was loads of different icons, and so many companies now sell them. Like big major brands now own. I bought mine from Reebok, and so I know Adidas make them, and some of the sportswear companies make them. But all different brands of all different types. So sort of mainly clothing sort of retailers do them, and you can tell they're aiming them at different markets, different designs, like you said, different fabrics. It seems like it's the equivalent of baseball cap. Like it will now be sort of, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a nice mask to go with this
Yeah.
dress as
Yeah.
such. But yeah, it's interesting.
Where there's an opportunity, Matt. Where there's an opportunity.